We are live.
Hey, everybody! I gotta take my glasses off. I got new
Morning.
glasses. They reflect too much. They're shiny.
They look good.
Oh, yeah. I love glasses. I was getting headaches, so I needed to get new ones. You know, Costco 3-pack. They had to up the, for all those older folks out there, they know what I'm talking about. They had to up the degree on the cheaters. So, anyway, what's happening, guys? Gosh, I haven't seen you for days, it seems like.
Man, it's been a little bit. We're busy, I think, which is good.
Whew. I've been so slammed with running around and appointments and geez, and it was a crazy busy week this week too with other personal stuff in my world, which was so much fun.
Yeah, a little birdie named Tom told us before the show. It was your 30th anniversary, Tom, right?
30th wedding anniversary yesterday. I've been married to my wife Lori and my own one and only wife Lori for 30 years, and I'm so excited. She's just a rock star, you know. I would, as I laugh and say, every day has been absolute bliss, which anybody who's been married for a while knows that that's not possible. But it's just we've worked through so many things, and we've got two amazing kids, Mackenzie and Zoe, that are 20 years old, and my daughter Zoe or Mackenzie just turned 26 3 days ago, and it was so yeah, it's been a great week. And then the 10th was our 20th anniversary of living on Maui, so it's been way cool. And I just want to say I love my wife to death, and she's amazing, and so excited to have been married to her for 30 years, and I look forward to 30 more. So
yeah.
Thank you, Lori. I love you. So yesterday we went. I sort of drug her into work. I had to go look at a house that we had put under contract. I had to check something for my clients up in Laniapoco. So from there, I said, well, let's go to Merriman's, because we'd never been to Merriman's over on the west side in Kapalua, it's oh my God, what an amazing location. But we went to dinner there. They're open out on the deck, and Kenny's got a picture he's going to share with you that we took at sunset last night. What a spectacular spot.
That's
nice. So we had dinner and sat out there for a while and just enjoyed the heck out of it. And so it was great fun. And then drove home and
the glow in Lori's hair too.
Yeah, you like that? I like the hair in the picture. I was really being artistic there.
Dramatic.
The food was amazing. I had these lamb chops that were so darn good, and Lori had lobster, and so I ate both the lamb chops and I ate part of Lori's lobster, because that's what guys do, right? They eat all of their food and then they eat whatever their wife doesn't finish.
Clean up crew.
Yes, it was fabulous. So
good times.
Anyway, yes, I loved it. So what's happening on Maui, guys? I've sort of been MIA. I've been MIA for the last couple days with work and everything, and I heard that there's some rumors that the governor or the mayor, or they're talking about not opening. What do you know, Jordan or Kenny?
Surprise, surprise, we got another delay, it looks like. They were saying October 1st. But, I think all of us were saying it'll be amazing if they got their ducks in a row before August 1st or October 1st. And sure enough, they made a announcement that said, hey guys, sorry, we're not ready yet. So there's probably going to be another delay. So that's the latest. So I'm guessing it's probably going to be pushed out to at least November 1st. Tom, what do you think?
Soapbox
time.
I think that I don't have a clue. I don't have a crystal ball anymore. I used to have a lot of faith in our government, our Hawaii government. I have no faith at all. I think that, the biggest issue that I have is that they just give us no information. They're not telling us anything. They're not saying we're working on this. We got a program in place. We're talking to CVS. We're talking to Walgreens. Nothing. It's like we're all afraid and we're hiding in our office, in our basement, and we're not coming out because, we're afraid. Josh Green is out there. I just heard that he said, hey, we got to open up the state, but he's the only lieutenant governor, so he really doesn't have any control. And Governor Scaredy Pants Ige is just, I don't know what the hell's going on. And then we've got our mayor, who's at the same party with Governor Ige in the basement, apparently, because we're not seeing anything, not hearing anything. And I am just so done with it, because they are just decimating our economy. There's more stuff that's closing, more businesses. And I know that businesses will move into those places, but it's just not fair to all these people that have worked so hard to build their businesses, and they have just burned through their nest eggs. They've burned through their savings, and the government just doesn't really seem like they're doing anything but being afraid. So we are. My position is we do not have fearless leaders. We have fearful leaders, and that fear, unfortunately, the fear is louder than the facts, and that's all I'm saying.
So Tom's actually running for governor coming up. So he's going to take.
You know, it's funny. I've had a couple people say you should run for mayor. It's like, yeah, no, I shouldn't. But
it's interesting because at the beginning of this, I was kind of on the fence. You know, I was like, hey, this is great. They're keeping the state safe because, you know, I mean, this virus we don't want it to come in here and stuff like that. So I was kind of right in the middle, I believe, you know, because I saw both sides of it. Friends are hurting and stuff like that. Now it's so outweighed where just the impact and everything, where I'm totally with Tom now. I mean, it's like, at least give us something. If you're going to keep pushing it out, give us reasons why you're doing it. Give us what you're doing to, like, hopefully move forward. Right now, it's like, you know, they're silent, which is really, really sad. And I feel like it's sad because I feel like some of the officials in certain counties, like the Kauai mayor, he seems like he's really on top of it. Josh Green seems like he's really on top of it. But, you know, Ige and stuff and some of the other ones, it's like, they're just not leading, you know, like Tom was saying, you know.
They're not leading. That's it. You got elected to be the leader. Sucks to be you that coronavirus came when you were the leader, but you still were given the position to lead. Then frickin' lead. You know what? Let us know what's going on. Thank you, Jordan. Sorry, I jumped on your.
No, and yeah, and you know, I have friends. I'm dating someone that works in the hotel tourism industry, and just to see, you know, how they're being so affected, it's really sad, and our economy is just kind of falling apart. So I mean, and I talk to every client they're like, hey, what's the latest? I'm like, you know, I don't really know. You know, like, hey, we're trying to get here in November, and I said, yeah, I can't tell you anything because I don't know. Nobody knows, you know, and it's frustrating because people want to get back, which would help our economy. And I'm sure, you know, like, there's ways to do it right, and they're just not, you know, giving us anything. So.
And it's all done by mandate. It's all done by edict. And it's not like it's not going to council. Nobody's voting on this. There's just one fearful leader that's making rules because that's what, I don't know. There's no input from the people. And that's what sucks. We are not being run by a democracy at this point. So my point, then, what I've shared with people on my Sunday show, any of you watch that, take the time. If you feel the way we do, send an email to the governor's office, send an email to the mayor, and let them know what you think, because until they start getting pressure from their constituents, their voters, or their taxpayers, I know some of you that are watching are just taxpayers, which even sucks more for you guys if you don't live here, because you have investments in property that you can't freely use because somebody's afraid. So I'm just, needless to say, I'm emotional about it because it's so frustrating. Kenny, what are your thoughts? You've been very, very silent over there.
I try to stay as balanced as I can. I've said this before, I listen primarily to epidemiologists, and I like to get a scientific view. And that said, at the start of the pandemic, I listened to a few of the top epidemiologists basically saying the state of Hawaii did it right by closing the borders. However, they also had the caveat that, you know, we did it right while, sorry, my oven's beeping. We did it right while coming up with a plan. So it wasn't, they did it right, they should shut down forever. It was, they did it right so that they could figure out a plan. My frustration, I try to be really empathetic towards everybody. I try to be really empathetic towards, you know, high-risk groups. That said, it really doesn't feel like they're even trying to come up with a plan. It just sort of feels like they're just doing nothing. Every month I expect for them to push it out. But I'm also curious what the heck they're actually doing in the 30 days in between each announcement.
Yeah, and you're talking about epidemiologists, and my wife shared with me this guy Ivor Cummins, Cummins. Google him and look for his September 8th, the science and logic of the coronavirus, and it's incredibly fascinating. So I know that I'm sometimes less and less anymore, but sometimes afraid to say anything because I don't want to be offensive. I don't want people think I'm a jerk. But I think when you want to speak out and speak publicly, having the knowledge and the facts is so much more helpful because you can speak not from I'm just pissed off to this is why. And Ivor Cummins has been really fascinating. His video was really amazing. And he's not from the U.S. He's from Europe. So he's not biased with our politics and all of that crap. So I just found it. So Ivor Cummins, Google him, and the September 8th report, which is really current. So anyway, Kenny, what are you baking, by the way?
Oh, it's my brother's making oatmeal, but he left the house and left it on the stove.
Nice. Come on, Billy.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, I feel the same. I had a pretty long conversation with a friend. She's not here, she's on the mainland, but she has a roommate who is just afraid, like next level afraid. And again, I mean, I've made it pretty clear. I try to follow science. I try to stay educated, and I try to be respectful of everybody. That said, I've listened to enough that at this point I'm like, okay, I think yes, we need to be careful, but either you're gonna stop living your life because of complete fear and anxiety, or you're just gonna live your life carefully. And I feel like that's a mentality that a lot of people are losing by getting so caught up in this kind of like this loop, this kind of feedback loop that they're in and they're perpetuating by just continuing to only read the really terrible stuff and not being properly educated on how diseases spread, on what the proper like things are and what the updated things are. I have friends, or this one friend, her roommate is still, I hope she doesn't watch this. Her roommate's still like Cloroxing all of their groceries and makes them leave the shoes outside. That said, they do live in a city, but I've listened to enough with epidemiologists and scientists and doctors that the updated science, what they've learned is that surface spread is not nearly the concern that they thought it was. But I think people are latching onto these like levels of control, not to be so over analytical, but people are needing this little piece of something they can control, but I think it's feeding their own fear. And so I think everybody needs to, I can't believe I'm saying this but everybody needs to take a chill pill.
Amen, brother.
There you go, Kenny.
I love it. So, and I think that's where a lot of people are at. And I think that unfortunately, apparently whoever has our governor's ear, and I thank you, Amy Kamakawa, for what are huevos?
Eggs. Or
eggs. Yeah, well, let's just leave it at eggs. Well, come on.
I will say, I do want to add one thing though. I think also in both directions, I think something that frustrates me personally is in both directions, we need to practice empathy and kindness and compassion, because I think the people who are really pro like super control are being kind of rude to the people who want things to be more lax and vice versa. And I have had personally, I wear my mask, whatever, but I've had one or two instances of kind of a moment of like in a store where somebody is kind of coming in and they're throwing a fit. And I'm like, okay, guys, like, it's just a mask.
I'm with you on that. And I'm not a big fan of masks. I think that they're, anyway, but I appreciate that. When I walk into a store, I put my mask on, and I want you to know that I am not saying we should run the rampant in the streets without regard. That's not my point.
That. Yeah.
But I just want to be clear, because you made that. It's really true. I mean, I think we should be reasonable and safe and aware, but to the point where we're at right now, I just have a real struggle with it.
Yeah, so, and being able to adjust your opinion when you learn new information.
Yeah. I think the issue too, because when it first started, everybody was saying, we're protecting the high risk people over here. And that's true. We still want to do that. But now it's come to the point where all the healthy, able-bodied people are suffering more than high-risk people are being protected. You know, and this is just my view. You know, when the line to the Hope Chapel food give out was, remember, like Thursdays, it was going all the way down Pi'ilani Highway. Like, families are suffering, and
Right.
more than, you know.
And emotionally,
it just seems like the seesaw is kind of tipping this way, and it's really, really sad. So that's kind of where I stand. You know, it's there's
emotional devastation too. That's what
yeah, exactly.
It's just
Yeah,
so many things. Anyway, I think we have beat the virus to death here.
yeah.
So let's end on a more fun note. Jordan did a new Talk Pigeon. I haven't seen it.
Okay, this would be a debut to you too.
Yeah.
Do we want to play the full?
Yeah, go for it. It's only, I think it's like 3 minutes. The reason why I wanted to share it is there's 2 special guests. It's my sister and brother-in-law, and it's a fun word too. So this is a sample of my Talk Pigeon Tuesday. If you guys haven't seen it, I post them on my page all the time. I haven't been that good about posting them on the lifestyle, but I'll continue to do that and share it so you guys can see it too. But yeah.
And just so everybody knows, Talk Pigeon, or Pigeon, is the dialect for the Hawaiian Islands that's been assimilated from multiple different languages and is now recognized as a dialect in the U.S. And so Jordan grew up here, and so he has this ability to speak Pigeon. He learned all of it from his dad, I think, and mom. And so he brings this to us, and it's really cute and fun and, you know, educational. So Kenny, let her rip.
Drum roll, please.
Guys, this is Jordan Kamikawa from Wailea Realty, Windermere Real Estate. Talk Pigeon Tuesday. I have a fun one today. Today's word is chihu. You may have heard it. It's become, you know, kind of popular. If you've seen the movie Moana, the character Maui, that's played by The Rock, does the chihu. And also, way back when, this is more back in my day, but there was a movie called Johnny Tsunami. And I think the grandpa used to do chihu. Yeah, right? Chi. And the way you say it, basically before that background, so in Hawaii, as I've explained before, you know, pigeon and Hawaiian culture is a mix of all kinds of different races from way back when in the plantation days to Hawaiian, actual Hawaiians and also Polynesians. And so chihu comes from Samoan or Samoan culture. You have to say it right, Samoan culture. And it's basically almost like a battle cry or like a exclamation. So it's pretty interesting. You may have heard this, you know, if you've seen Moana, the Maui guy does it a couple times. But, you know, growing up here in Hawaii, you'd hear chihus all the time. I'm not going to do one because I'm not very good at it and I'm not Samoan. But luckily, my sister married half Samoan. His name is Sholto Liaso, and then my sister's name is Jenna, and they're living in New Zealand now. But you know, Sholto, because he's Samoan, grew up doing the chihus too, you know, because it's part of his culture. So I figured it would be best if we had a professional or 2 professional. My sister's really good at it too. She grew up here and went to high school with, you know, we both had a mix of different races as for friends. I don't even know what I'm saying, but yeah, we had Polynesian friends and we've been around it. So I'm going to cut to a clip. I actually got a clip of them doing the chihu and I'm very excited. So here it is right now. So that's what a chihu is. You hear it again in Hawaii because of the influence that Samoans had on the culture here. And, you know, you hear it or would hear it a lot before, you know, COVID, but at sports games, at concerts, you know, you hear a lot of chihus and stuff like that. So hopefully that explains that. Hope you guys are having a great day, and I will see you guys on the next one. Aloha.
Awesome.
Well, that was great. I'd not heard I'm sure I've heard chihu, but I didn't never know what it meant. So thank you, Jordan.
Yeah, no problem. It's so funny to have my sister and brother-in-law Sholto.
I didn't realize that he was half Samoan. That was interesting.
Yeah, and he grew up in New Zealand, which is awesome. But he loves Hawaii too, and he comes here and he looks more local than I do. So hopefully they'll move back. At some point.
Jordan, where do folks find? I know you post it sometimes on Lifestyle, but where do you typically post it? Where's your website or page that people can find it?
Either on my Instagram or my Facebook business page. So if you search my name,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think my Instagram handle is Jordan K on Maui. But if you just search my name, you should be able to find both of my professional Facebook and Instagram pages. Perfect.
So be sure to follow Jordan. And hey, that's the other thing too, is if you guys, we redid our YouTube channel for Lifestyle and my Tom Tezak, and I would love it if you guys took a second to go. And Kenny, how do they find our new YouTube channel? Because we need subscribers. We really need subscribers.
We had lots on the other one. So it's just Lifestyle Maui on YouTube, and I am going to post the link right now.
Okay. So if you guys could share or, pardon?
Oh, just go there and hit that subscribe button for us. You'd be doing us a solid.
Big solid. Yeah, that would be great. And we do frequently ask questions regularly. We're releasing those every week. And we do some of our other stuff on there. And if you want to see my rants, I'll be putting them on there pretty soon too. So, all right. Hey, I got to run to an appointment. We've got a closing coming up. I'm excited about that. And so I got to go meet some agents or an agent and the clients. So
thanks, guys.
Love, and remember, send the emails if you see the world the same way we do to the government.